Good morning, everybody. This is our astrology weather forecast for the 6th of January, 2025. And Mars returns to Cancer today. So until February 23rd, we are reassessing all things masculine, forward, aggressive, and uh, personal, domestic, and our feeling nature. Moon is in Aries today. So the mood is more about moving on, moving forward. There is a impulsiveness that underpins the day that is indicative of the feeling state. That's what the transiting moon is representing. So on top of that, we have Mars in a minor hard aspect to Saturn as it enters Cancer today. So there's this feeling of coming to a screeching halt regarding the masks that we wear, bravado, how we protect ourselves, Mars stuff, how we rattle sabers. Until February 23rd, we're doing a massive reassessment and seeing how is my saber rattling, my positioning, the way I hunt, how I hunt, who I hunt. How does that impact my need for belonging? Cancer stuff, security, safety, continuity, belonging, family. How I want the foundations of my life to be built. Do I want to build on bravado? Do I want to build on defenses? Or do I want to build on something that is inclusive, safe? So Mars comes home in the sign of Cancer. And this is a long period of time that Mars is retrograde, where we have our, typically aggressive instincts turning inward. So rather than trying to beat or compete on the outside, or taking ourselves to task or trying to improve, beat, compete with what is on the inside. So there's an internalization of our survival mechanisms. What am I doing to ensure survival? And how is that impacting my need to belong, my need for intimacy, my need for to feel safe in that feeling state rather than to be in this place of hypervigilance where I'm always on. I'm always on. See, we're looking at how can we relax? How can we turn off survival mode, come home, take our shoes off, and feel like we have the comfort and the space to put our bare, ugly, stinking feet up on the coffee table and to not be judged for that. because we know who we are, and we know that what we've surrounded ourselves with is a safe space. Nobody's going to come in and judge us for how we choose to relax, how we choose to experience home, experience safety, experience comfort. So we're weeding out who perturbs or disturbs our calm, our safety. Who isn't peaceful? And we're looking internally at how are we disturbing our own peace? How are we getting in the way of getting our own needs met with outdated survival behaviors? Trying to win, trying to prove ourselves instead of relaxing into safety. If we're stuck in survival mode, we're not going to resonate with who and what is offering real safety and security. They're just going to keep up that pace, that relentless pace, the demands, the I want it now, I want it on my terms. This is a big thing with Mars and Cancer. We're saying, yeah, I want you. I want that. I want change. I want opportunity. I want that relationship, but I want it on my terms. If your terms are karmic, you're going to get those terms. If your terms are good for all of us, then you'll get something that's good for all of us, because it's not about my agenda, my time, my timing, my state of being, the selfishness of Mars. See, we are we're getting deeper. We're reaching deeper. And so we have to sacrifice some behaviors, states, techniques, styles that are not conducive to belonging, to security, to safety, to feeling at home. So we really are taking a look at how do I, put up a shield and rattle sabers in order to protect myself. And these are both signs, the moon has its own way of protecting itself too. It's about, intimacy, and you can look at how some of our moodiness, how some of our whining, how do we even use that as a shield? How do we use our emotional instability, our sensitivities as a shield against intimacy, real communion, a feeling of belonging, because that is unfamiliar to a lot of us. You know, we came from karmic states. That's what we know. So, are we going to use what we know and get what we've always gotten, or are we going to choose to go into some unfamiliar territory that will require a more sensitive approach? You know, to be sensitive to our own internal states. And that has this effect of being sensitive to what's going on around us. All right, that's what I got. I will likely check in with you guys later. Have a good day.